This is a very special week here in Barcelona for every single Barca fan and for the Cruyff family, because this stadium is being inaugurated, the new Johan Cruyff Stadium, the stadium where the B team and the women's football team of Barcelona will play. And not only a stadium was inaugurated with Johan Cruyff's name, also a statue. Here on beIN Sports, we wanted to talk with his son, Jordi Cruyff, in such a special week for him. And this is what he told us about the statue and everything happening in Barcelona these days regarding his father.
First of all, it's an honor or pride, and I think my father deserves this kind of respect and the love that he's feeling. Second of all, I think also the two clubs that have a stadium are basically the clubs of his life. It's the only two clubs where he's coached, and okay, he's played in more teams, but the core of his football teams have always been Ajax and Barcelona. So I think, that these two clubs have defined him as the one that could have the name. I think that's a big respect towards him also. And I think he would be very proud of this. He had the courage to immediately give young players from the youth the chance to play. And I think that's why, emotionally speaking, it's probably the place that he would want to be. It's the last step, for people that don't know, Barcelona always had two stadiums. They had the big stadium and then the mini stadium, which probably was, 12,000 or 15,000 seaters, something like that. And sometimes it would fill up when you had a game, for example, Barcelona B against Real Madrid B. It would be almost full or full. So I think it's always been important, because as a young player, even for me when I played in that stadium, it's different to play in a stadium with 2,000 people than one of 12 or 15, and when you make the step to the big stadium, the big Camp Nou, then at least you've had a little bit of the taste of the pressure of people watching you. So I think for my father, that stadium is important because it is the last step of their development before making the big step to the first team stadium, to the big one. And I think he would have been comfortable with being part of that last step of the youth process.
Johan Cruyff is one of the most important figures of the entire history of FC Barcelona, and that's why we wanted to talk with Jordi Cruyff, his son, about the legacy he has left here in Barcelona.
I think he was, in a good way, considered crazy until people actually saw that the results were coming, and then he was converted to a genius. He made that step, because I remember seeing that lineup and saying, what's happening here? What is he doing today? And it would turn out to be, a very crazy offensive lineup. And in the end, he just got it right. And I think what he's probably here really known for is kind of changing the mentality of the club to be a club that started to win things. Even as a player, when he arrived with all his chains and all his, the long hair from the 70s, he came with an attitude like, I don't care what, let's get on with it, let's play, let's enjoy, let's make it a fun afternoon for the fans who came to see us. And I think he transmitted that. And as a coach, he did even more than that, because he really could put a stamp on the style of playing, the build-up from behind, the goalkeeper that would, risk a lot with the passing from behind. I think he made a lot of steps to at least put an identity of a way of playing. Afterwards, of course, you have new coaches came and they modernized it, because time always changes everything. You need to update yourself all the time. And I think the coaches have also succeeded after to maintain a big part of that philosophy and add new modern things. And that's why Barcelona has been evolving in the last, many years, decades, to what it is now.